Hi, I'm Kat, and welcome to this nutritious little burst of yoga that you can fit into your lives on busy days. So to maximize this moment, we're going to use the wall, setting up your mat like mine so that it's perpendicular to the wall. And let's come and sit in Sukhasana right here on the mat. Crossing the right ankle in front of the left, remembering that if your knees are lifted really high, which means the hips and the groins are tight, taking some height underneath the hips is going to help the hips to release. So taking the props that you need for the vehicle that you're in, and now widening the sit bones apart. Deep inhalation, lift the ribs, and exhale, coming forward, Yoga Mudrasana. Soft, smooth inhalations and exhalations, finding a rhythm to the breath. And feeling the body open to the breath, elongating, broadening. And then coming back up and changing the cross of the ankles, re-widening our buttocks apart. Inhale, lift the ribs. Exhaling forward, Yoga Mudrasana and Sukhasana on the other side. Long, soft, smooth inhalations and exhalations. The fingertips reaching towards the front of the mat, the hips grounding and earthing towards the back of the mat. Greeting the body with each breath, from inside, from outside. And then walking the hands back in and coming to Vajrasana with the toes turned under. Spreading the toes as we sit on them and coming to the heels, bringing the hands behind, interlocking the fingers and rolling the front shoulders back, lengthening the collarbones. Lift the chin and lift the chest to the sky and then inhale into the center chest, broaden it. And then lowering the head down, remember the interlock that you have, release the hands and come off the feet. Coming for the second side, turn the toes back under, sitting back on the heels, bring the hands behind, changing the interlock, and again rolling those front shoulders back, feeling that new space that we're making in the chest area and the lungs, lifting the chin, and inhaling into that area, to the sternum plate. Broadening it, broadening, lifting the lungs. And exhale, chin down, and releasing, and undoing the feet a little bit. Adho Mukha Svanasana with our heels against the wall. So spreading the palms, the fingers, and turning the toes under, moving the feet back so the backs of the heels are against the wall. Keep the knees bent. Push yourself away from your hands, feel the armpits stretch, drop the head down. Press the heels back to the wall. Feel the femurs coming into the hip sockets. And straightening the legs, keeping the femurs in the hip sockets, relax the head right down. Long, soft, smooth inhalations and exhalations that are purposeful, that penetrate. And now stepping the right leg forward to a nice wide lunge. Make sure that the front shin is perpendicular to the ground. Squeeze the back inner knee. Press the buttocks down. Push out through the back inner heel. Press the hips down. Feel the groins opening, the hips opening. And now bend the back knee and rest the back knee on the ground. Moving the hips and buttocks back as we straighten the front leg, coming onto the heel. And grip that front femur bone into the hip socket as you extend the sternum forward. Then releasing, bending that front knee and stepping back to Adho Mukha Svanasana, heels against the wall, knees bent. Move the arms towards the hands and move the armpits towards the hips. Feel the femurs coming into the hip sockets and keeping that action, straighten the legs and push the front thighs back. And now stepping the left leg forward to a nice wide lunge. Make sure the shin is perpendicular. Straighten that back inner knee. Push out through the back inner heel. Press the hips down. Keep squeezing the back inner knee. Pressing the hips down. And now bending the back knee, bringing it to the floor. And moving the hips back as we straighten the front leg, coming onto that heel and gripping the femur bone into the hip socket as we extend the trunk forward. And then bending the front leg, coming forward in order to step back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Heels to the wall, knees bent, femurs coming into the hip sockets. Push the arms to the hands and push the armpits to the hips. And then straighten the legs and looking at the shins, push the shins back, push the front thighs back. Press the chest open towards the front thighs. And now bending both knees, bringing the knees to the mat and releasing. Coming to stand up, Utthita Trikonasana, using the wall, outside edge of the left foot against the wall, particularly the outside edge of the back heel. Right leg forward, take a nice wide distance. Stretch the arms, lift the chest, grip the legs, inhale. Reach to the right, and as you reach to the right, let the hips and the buttocks move towards the wall, press into the outside edge of the back foot. And coming down, finding Utthita Trikonasana. Keep the front heel firmly pressing down and the front thigh muscle firmly gripping up. Keep lifting the inner arch of the back foot, pushing into the outside edge of the back foot and the heel, feeling the wall. And with each exhale, turn. Turn from the pubic bone, turn from the navel, turn from the top trunk. And then inhaling up and releasing, changing sides. Outside edge of the right foot against the wall, left leg forward, having that width, gripping, inhale, and exhale, reaching to the left, reaching, let the hips and buttocks move back, and coming down, finding Utthita Trikonasana. Press that front heel down firmly and make sure the quadriceps are gripping upwards. Lift the inner arch of the back foot and find the outside edge of the foot pressing against the wall, the outside edge of that back heel pressing. As we turn and twist from the pubic bone, from the navel, from the lungs, and 2, and 1. Inhaling up, and exhale, releasing. Coming to sit in Sukhasana, right ankle in front of the left, but I want us to be arm's distance away from the wall, taking any height that's needed for the vehicle you're in today. Urdhva lift the arms, exhale, turn and twist to the right. Baddha Vajrasana, using the wall in Sukhasana. This hand is pressing to twist, and this hand is walking back to help us twist. Each exhale helping us to twist. Keep both sit bones pressing down and twist from the belly button. And coming back to the middle, other side. Urdhva Hastasana, getting that lift. Exhale, Baddha Vajrasana to the left. The right hand is pressing. The left hand is walking back, also pressing. And we're exhaling from the belly button. And back to the center. Changing the cross of the ankles. Got to do it on the other side. Urdhva Hastasana, get that lift, press the buttocks down and lift up. Exhale, turn and twist, Baddha Vajrasana. This time turn the head to the front and keep walking that hand back on the wall, so feeling the trunk turn without the neck and the head. And now turn the head to the back. And back to the middle. Last time, Urdhva Hastasana, lift. Exhale, turning and twisting. Now turn the head to the front and continue to twist with the exhale from the navel. And now turn the head to the back. And back to the front, and coming to stand up. All right, taking a block, continuing with the wall, Parshvakonasana. So right leg forward first, and our right leg is going to be the leg closest to the wall. And we're going to put the block between the front of the knee and the wall like this, backing the left leg out as much as possible until our thigh is parallel to the ground. It's flat. Press that front heel down. Feel the block pressing against the knee and travel with that so the femur bone comes into the hip socket. Push into the outside edge of that foot. Okay, leaning towards the wall. Let the hips and buttocks move back. This arm bending and pressing against the inner knee. Extend the top arm to the wall and walk that hand back. Twisting. Pushing against this inner leg to twist from there, and walking the hand on the wall back to stretch the waist and continue the twist. Keep squeezing the back inner knee tightly. And coming back out and changing sides. Parshvakonasana, using the block, using the wall, accentuating the twistingness and the femur bone coming in to that front hip socket. So first of all, finding the width. Push into the outside edge of that back foot, squeeze the back inner knee and flatten this front thigh. Inclining towards the wall, hips and buttocks are moving back, bending this front arm and pressing it against the inner knee. And then extending the top arm, finding the wall, and begin the twisting action of Parshvakonasana. Keep the front femur bone coming into the hip socket, the outside edge of that back foot firm. Walk that top hand back to twist more. And then coming back out. And releasing. Placing the block back, Adho Mukha Svanasana, hands against the wall. Thumb and index fingers. Bent knees first, heels lifted. Femurs being drawn into the hip sockets as we push ourselves away from the wall. And then straighten the legs and draw the femurs into the hip sockets again. Relax the head completely, stretch those arms. Now lift the toes off the mat as well, be just on the balls of the feet. And 3, and 2, and 1. Bending the knees. And coming down and releasing. We're going to stay facing the wall, come to standing. Parsvakonasana with our hands on the wall to get a beautiful stretch running through here. So first of all, placing the fingertips on the wall for stability. Right leg coming forward, the heel to the ground, the foot lifted. And left leg back, but not having a wide stance. Fingertips to the wall. Turn the hips. Draw the quadricep muscles up, relax the face, inhale. Exhale, begin to walk the fingertips up the wall. The hips and buttocks moving back. And come and lower the forehead to the wall. Keep the arms stretched, the armpits opening. Press into the back heel. Grip the thighs into the hip sockets. See if you can walk the fingertips up more, and more, and more. And then walking the fingertips back down, forehead away. And changing sides. Left leg forward, heel down, foot up. Right leg back, not too wide. Turn the hips, grip the legs. Placing the fingertips on the wall in preparation, arms straight. Inhale. Exhale, walking the fingertips up the wall, the hips and buttocks moving back. The hips turn to face the wall. Forehead resting. Press the back heel down. Squeezing the back inner knee, rolling the back thigh in. Keep walking the fingertips up higher. And feel the armpits opening, the ribs underneath the armpits opening, the diaphragm stretching. Breathe into all those areas. And then fingertips coming down the wall. And releasing. Adho Mukha Svanasana, thumb and index finger to the wall. Second one. Knees bent, heels lifted. Feel the eyes of the elbows, the inner elbows facing the wall. Femurs coming into the hip sockets. As we straighten the legs, keep the eyes of the elbows facing the wall. And now we're going to press the heels down, keeping the sit bones lifted. So try to press the heels down towards the mat, push the shins back, push the front thighs back, keep stretching the arms, eyes of the elbows to the wall, lifting the buttocks up. And then bending the knees and coming down. All right, turning to sit, more twists. This time the legs in Paschimottanasana legs. Sitting on some height as and if needed. Widen the sit bones apart. Make sure the outside edges of the feet are coming back towards the outer hips. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, turning and twisting. Balavajasana in Paschimottanasana. Press with this arm. Turn this hand back. Try to get the back ribs to twist with you. To press them in and twist and turn. And back to the middle. Widen the buttocks apart. And ready for the other side. Urdhva Hastasana. Lift up. Press the front thighs down. Relift. And Balavajasana. Focusing on getting sensitive in the back body. How do we make the ribs turn and twist? And coming back to the front. And widening the legs apart. Let's see, I just have to move some plant pots for Upavishta Konasana. Sitting on height as needed, widening the buttocks apart so that the inner groins are rolling down to the ground. The outside edges of the feet coming back to the outer hips. Squeeze the muscles around the legs. Inhale, lift the chest. And exhale, coming forward. Yoga Mudrasana, Upavishta Konasana. Being with the breath, let the breath help you to move through the posture. Keep gripping the leg muscles around the leg bones. Keep the heels pressing down. Inner groin still rolling towards the ground. Femurs coming into the hip sockets. And coming back out. And releasing. Baddha Konasana. But we're going to turn around and face the wall. Bringing the feet together and making sure that we are not too far away and not too close. We want to find this action. Taking height, if the knees are lifted really high. Fingertips to the wall, coming forward. As we come forward, we keep walking the fingertips up, stretching the arms. Pushing into the wall to ground the hips down to the earth. Each exhale, grounding the hips down. And then coming back up and lying right back down on the mat. Bringing both knees towards us, Dviparasuttapavaramuttasana. Interlocking the fingers. If you can't interlock the fingers, take a strap between the hands, holding the strap just so there's a connection everywhere. Keep the inner feet lined up, the inner knees lined up. and reconnect with that even, smooth breath. The shoulders relaxing backwards. The abdomen releasing. And now both feet to the floor, and lift the right leg up, place the right outer ankle on the front of that thigh, and roll the inner groin to the outer groin. And then lift the left leg up and interlock your fingers behind the back of the left knee. Drawing that left thigh towards you, the elbows will bend. This right elbow will rest against this inner thigh, pushing it open as you draw the foot and the left leg towards you. Keeping the legs where they are, move the hands so that they now come underneath the right calf. Lifting ourselves up so we can really stretch the arms through, separate the arms apart, and then bend the elbows, and the inner elbow should be holding the shin, and slowly begin to increase the pressure, deepening. If you can rest the head on the ground, rest the head. And pull a little bit more with your left arm to bring the foot closer towards you, to keep that evenness in the shin. And then releasing, and both feet to the floor, changing sides. So outer left ankle on the front of the right thigh, roll the inner groin to the outer groin, and then lift the leg up and interlock the fingers behind the knee. As the elbow bends, it keeps the inner groin rolling to the outer groin. And now we're going to release the hands, keeping the legs where they are. Bring the arms underneath the calf. Lift up if you have to in order to really get the arms through. Separate the arms apart. And now bending the elbows, the inner elbow holding the shin. And as we come back towards the earth with our skull, we're bending the arms to increase that opening. And making sure that the right arm is doing a little bit more work to really help keep the shin aligned. And then releasing our arms and finding Dvipara Supta Bhavana Muktasana, lining the inner feet up, lining the inner knees up, rolling each shoulder back. Soft, smooth inhalation and exhalation. Notice how the breath has changed since the beginning of our practice. And then feet back to the ground. And rolling over to push ourselves back up. Our last and final pose, Viparita Karani as Savasana. So we're going to take a little blanket, just for comfort and to bring a little lift to the hips. Coming to lie down with our feet up against the wall. So coming in sideways. Now, if when you put your feet up, you immediately think, oh, there's no way I can hold my feet up here without being in tension, just take a strap, make a little loop with the strap, and put it around your feet so the strap is holding your feet in. Then the legs can relax, the organs can relax, and you can make the most out of these precious 3 minutes that we'll be here. Okay, once you're lying down, roll those front shoulders open, the collarbones long, the chest open, the heart open, and extend the arms diagonally away. The palms also open. In a state of openness, in a state of release. Eyelids gently closing and resting here. And now keeping the eyes closed, just gently lift the hands up and rub the hands together. And then place the palms of the hands over the closed eyes, over the forehead. And within this cave, the eyelids gently opening, now fully opened, just cracking the hands apart slightly, the light coming in, and then opening more and more. Seeing in front of us, seeing to the sides of us, extended vision. And when we feel ready, just bending the knees and rolling over. Coming out of our practice, taking a final seat. Placing the palms together. And ending our practice together with one more. And welcome back. Our practice is complete. So hoping that you're just feeling more fluid in all ways, more energy, getting back to whatever the day holds with renewed clarity and able to give more to those around us. Namaste. Hope we practice again together soon.